Hey tea heads, this is Don and Celine from Mayleaf. It's the beginning of June and we're right at the tail end of our spring sourcing season. We've still got some Taiwanese teas to taste and we've still got some Japanese teas to source, but it has been an epic season. I say it every year, but I've tasted more teas this year than ever before, right?
It's insane.
It's a huge amount of teas.
I mean, I don't actually want to drink that much tea. When I see you drinking that much tea and how you react, I'm like,
it's
nah.
a marathon and a half.
It's
a
too
marathon and a half. And it's been a good year. I would say that Yunnan has not produced the best tea this year. I mean, there's still some amazing teas being produced, of course, but finding them has been harder. We've had to dive deeper and deeper and deeper. And I wish I could have purchased more. I think that the weather in Yunnan around just when they were starting to pick really messed it up. And it just goes to show all the time how important these tiny little things make to affect the entire year's batch of tea.
That's true.
Still some great stuff, but harder to find.
Just harder to find that like special one, something
je ne sais
different.
quoi.
Yeah.
However, green teas have had a stellar year, especially green teas from the East Coast, Zhejiang province have had a stellar year. We've had lots and lots of green teas that we have loved. And here are 6 green teas that are fresh in stock 2022. We've already launched our Supreme Longjing and Supreme Jade Arrow previously. They're still available, but these are fresh in stock. We have Jade Arrow.
Yeah.
We've got Imperial Green.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess the others?
You got to the one where I was like, I can't remember what that one
That's
is
Laoshan
called.
Green. Laoshan Green. Can you guess that one?
Sweet Dew, Green Coil.
Bilochen Green Coil.
And Bamboo Saber.
Bamboo Saber. So we've got Bamboo Saber, Green Coil, Sweet Dew, Laoshan Green, Imperial Green, and Jade Arrow. And what I thought I would do is that I would have a nice educational session with you where I would sit down and look at each tea individually and compare it against a sample, a very good sample. In fact, I should say that all the samples that we get nowadays are pretty much good teas. It's very unusual that we get a bad tea. So comparing the one we selected with a sample which is a very high quality and just sort of trying to pick out the differences as to why I picked one over the other. But I spoke to Celine last night and she said, boring. Why didn't you make it a challenge?
I wasn't trying to be rude.
We're trying to rush out a video before we have to go pick up our daughter. But
and I'm going to work.
So it's early in the morning here. But so she thought what we would do is I would blind taste each tea against a sample that you've picked. I haven't picked it. And I've got to see if I can choose the tea again in terms of choose the one that I picked for the Mayleaf. And that's for the Mayleaf selection. That's a pretty big challenge because I asked her to select only the samples that have a tick on it, which means they're samples that were shortlisted. So it means I already said it's a great tea, it's a good tea. I would like it, but I'm still sort of checking it out. So I don't know what she's picked, and then maybe I'm starting to defend myself already. So first of all teas are good. Secondly, the teas that she's picked have already been shortlisted, so they're going to be good teas. And thirdly, sometimes the choice is going to be about price point. So if I taste 2 teas that are very, very similar, you can't really split them apart, but there's a big price difference, then obviously I'm going to pick the more affordable one. Right. So those disclaimers out of the way. Let's move on to our first one. I'm going to blindfold myself and you can get ready.
Start brewing.
Yep. Okay, you done?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do some quick dry leaf just analysis. Very, very quick because we've got 6 teas to get through. So green coil, right?
Yeah.
They both look very good. Right, what I'm looking for in green coil is very fine, very thin. I don't mind it being dark like this. That doesn't bother me with green coil. I know that means it's going to be green when it's open. They both look very fine, very wispy, very hairy. I can't really tell much difference apart from that one being a little bit lighter, maybe a bit
more hairy.
A bit more hairy and a bit buddier.
Maybe.
This one being a bit darker, but they both are clearly very high quality Bilochens. Okay.
Ready?
Is it ready?
You like them strong, don't you?
Yeah, within reason though. I don't want it to be I want it to be a fair representation of the tea. Okay. Especially when we're talking about fine tuning like this. So I should tell you that basically my process is sample the teas sample the teas and make a quick decision as to whether or not it enters the shortlist. Once it's entered the shortlist, and the sampling that I do when I'm trying to create the shortlist is very hot water usually, just like just really get to experience it. You know, its positives and its negatives. Once it's entered the shortlist pool, then I will be a little bit more considered about the brewing and, you know, focus a little bit more, right? So you've got a dice there, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to say that...
so I'm going to do...
everything so
odds for this tea.
I don't need to know.
And even on this tea and odds on this tea to get my brain working.
Right, so you're going to roll the dice.
Yeah, I'm going to roll it.
Show it to one of the cameras, doesn't matter. And let's do this.
Okay. Can you see it? Yeah, okay. Here you go. First tea.
First tea.
Here you go.
Oh, it's a very good tea. So what I'm looking for in Bilochen is quite an arresting flavor. What I mean by that is it needs to give you some hit. It needs to give you some impact. And this has that. Lots of fragrance, lovely mouthfeel, really, really excellent finish, which we'll talk about a lot during this session, because that's one of the big quality markers for me, is how does it leave my mouth? Is it empty in any way? Oh, okay. Already we've got a problem because they're both delicious teas.
It's hard.
Are you tasting them as well?
Yeah, when you were talking, I was like...
This one here, so let's talk about the differences and see if you agree with me. This one here, can I take my blindfold off?
Yeah, you can now.
But I don't know which one's which, right?
You don't know which one's which, and the liquor's pretty similar.
Yeah, is the leaf being moved away?
Oh wait, no, it hasn't.
Move the leaf away in case
In case you cheat.
So the second one has more floral
You can open your
going
eyes
on. The second one is, and you don't have to tell me which one's number one and number two, because I don't know. But the second one has more floral going on, and I would predict that one would be the one that was more buddy, so the one that was
on the
right hand side, on your left, our right.
All right.
Because the lighter, whiter will tend to bring more floral notes. They're both arresting in the sense of, when I say arresting, like I always think about Bilochen Green Coil with that story of how it was discovered, or like there's a story basically where a picker takes these leaves of this cultivar, spring picked, early morning, whatever, and she's run out of space. Where am I going to put these leaves? So she puts them in her bosom.
Of course.
And the heat and humidity from her heaving bosom raised this arresting fragrance, and she smelled it and she was like, "Oh, what's going on?" Right? And so whenever I think about Bilochen, I think it has to be an arresting, like, whoa, there's something there, and this definitely has that. Now this is the problem, because you need to give me one more taste
of which one?
I will do it in the same order.
Same order.
Yeah, just,
okay.
So they both do. The first one is maybe a little deeper. The second one's a little brighter, lighter, and more floral. I like that. It's still got floral. I like it. Okay, second one.
Second one.
Now that it's cooled down a bit, the second one has more of a rising aromatic to it. It's got the first one is very mouth centered. It's very good flavor and good mouthfeel. The second one has that, but has more of a vaporous quality. So I think I'd have chosen the second one.
What, this one?
I don't know which one it was. Oh, let's look at the liquor.
Sorry, yeah. This was the first, this was the second.
Both excellent teas.
Yeah. I have to agree that I find that this one has more roundness to it, even though they're both very good taste.
Excellent teas, both of them.
Should I tell you now?
Was I right? That's all I need to know. Was I right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, we'll also try to put down a price difference. I'll go and look at the samples and how much they cost, just so that you can see price differences as well. There you go. They both look beautiful, as you can see.
Both would have worked, like, so yummy.
Yeah, both would have been acceptable.
Yeah.
Just that little bit lighter,
Yeah. That's
a little bit more silvery and light in terms of the look, and that definitely comes across in the taste. All right, T2, ready?
yeah.
Okay. Well, these look very different. I mean, this is Sweet Dew, right?
Yeah.
That's, I don't know about that sample. That surely is ours versus that one. But what I'm looking for in Sweet Dew is a little bit more green than Bilochen. Bilochen is going to be darker. A little bit more green, a little bit more like a bud and one leaf picking, quite clearly shown. It's not going to be shaped, so they're both sort of not shaped. So, but that one looks much better than that one. We'll see how they look when they're brewed, though. But yeah, I definitely don't want to see the leaf when you brew these up, because I will know which one it is. All right, let's brew them. You ready?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna roll the dice.
Yeah. There it is. Okay.
Oops.
So,
Does the color of the liquor look very different?
actually, not that much.
Okay,
No.
so what I'm looking for in a Sweet Dew or Gunlu is rising bright aroma, similar to a Jade Arrow from. So Gunlu is from Sichuan, Jade Arrow is from the east. So there's going to be a difference, but that difference I'm more looking for it to have sort of a slight. Can I have a bit more of that one? Slightly nutty. I'm talking too much. Slightly nutty edamame note to it as well. So imagine Jade Arrow with a little bit of an extra sort of greenness, but more green sort of soybean.
Have you decided already before trying the second one?
But this is the first one you just gave
Yeah.
me, right? This is delicious.
You like it?
It's delicious.
Okay, hold out your hand. I'll give you the second one. Okay, ready.
Has a nice sweet soy milk, sweet creaminess in the finish. Oh, I can smell this one's not. Nah, that one's an easy one for me.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm
Damn.
surprised I shortlisted that.
Too easy.
I'm very surprised I shortlisted. I mean, it's good tea.
No, you know what? This is the thing. It's a good tea if you didn't have that one next to it.
But it's just too rocky for a Sweet Dew. Okay, that one's pretty easy.
I can imagine though, if you didn't have that one next to it. Sorry, so that was one, that was two.
Again, you can see in the leaf.
You would be like, oh, this is really nice. But then you have a better tea
Yeah.
next to it and you're like, oh no, this is...
And that's what happens during a lot of sampling. We're really making a mess here.
Yeah.
Sorry, here.
Sorry.
That's what happens when you do a lot of sampling, is that your taste buds start to become accustomed to things, and you start to do that A/B. A/Bing is a great way to do it. And if I could afford to, then I would probably buy in a load of samples just so that you could do some A/Bs. But obviously, I don't really want to spend money on teas which aren't the teas that I've selected. But you can see the color difference here, very, very bright, very, very sort of luminous. This one looks a bit dull, and the taste is exactly represented by this difference in color.
Okay, here you go.
So 2 for 2. Doing well. Let's see what happens with the next tea.
It's not hard enough.
You're annoyed, aren't you? I'm really happy that that one was an easy one.
Well done.
Yeah, there
Well
you go.
done.
There you go. All right, next tea. Okay, Jade Arrow. So what I'm looking for in a Jade Arrow is, I actually quite like the Jade Arrow to be quite golden and yellow. I don't like great.
Oh, really?
When I see Jade Arrows that are green, very green, that's usually, I mean, obviously it all depends on the taste, but usually 9 times out of 10 or even 9.5 times out of 10, I'm not going to like it that much. It's too green. I want the Jade Arrow to have more of a warm, rich aromatic rather than something that's too cutting and too verdant. Both of these look right up my alley.
Although this one looks more yellow.
That one looks more yellow, but they both, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to a lot of jade arrows that you look that are sort of quite green,
Yeah,
you know?
it's true.
They both look golden. They both look good.
You want to taste it?
Hard to tell the difference between this. I think that the picking on this one's a little bit rougher than this one, but it's...
I think this is going to be a hard one.
This could be a hard one. All right, let's brew it.
Okay. You covered?
Yeah, I'm covered up. So yeah, Jade Arrow. It's one of those teas. What?
Sorry, one fell in there.
In where?
In the wrong pile. No, it's okay. I took it out. It was
Oh
just
no,
the
you're
one.
sabotaging. You mix them up. Jade Arrow is a tea which I think I've grown to love more and more and more and more, and now it's one of my favorite teas to source. It's also one of the first teas to come in, and so my taste buds are all like, oh, ready for spring teas. And sort of by this point, my taste buds are like so like, you know, they're saturated. So I think that might also play a part. But also going to visit Angie. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out, where we explore this tea. It's an expensive tea, and it's sort of at the beginning of my tea sourcing career, I was frustrated by it, but I think it was a combination of, number one, my supply chain not being good enough, right? In the sense that I wasn't tasting the absolute pinnacle stuff. And number two, not quite getting what it was all about. And now I do. It sort of has changed everything. Obviously, the supply chain has changed it as well, because going to Angie really transformed, and I think anybody who's a Mayleaf client will know that, you know, we didn't really start sourcing Angie by Cha until what, about 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Despite the fact that I've been sourcing teas for 20 years. And going to Angie made a big difference. Like just meeting up with some really, really classy producers that producing some stellar stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
You see it when they've got that passion.
And really, I'll say it again, look for teas that are a little bit more, because obviously Angie by Cha means Angie white tea, which confuses a lot of people. It's just that the cultivar of this green tea is paler, right? So you want to look for leaves that look quite pale. It doesn't have to necessarily be golden, but paler. And once they've been brewed, they should look very light, bright, and quite pale, creamy, sort of apple white green. Okay.
I'm like a little feeder. Here's your cup.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
Oh.
And the finish is a key thing here, because the aromatics in the mouth, the thickness, that's all good. But once you've swallowed, you want smooth, warm, like candy floss air in your mouth. And that's what I've got here. This is, I love it. All right, give me the second one.
Okay.
Did you roll the dice, by the way?
Yeah, I did. I was a silent brewer.
Hotter.
What?
Yeah, for some reason that was hotter.
Weird.
Oh, now I really have a problem. Delicious. Mm-hmm. You sure you didn't? Okay, you're gonna have to give me both of them again.
Okay, number one.
In fact, are the leaves away?
Yeah. No. No, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no, I'll keep my blindfold on, because I think you probably kept the brewers in the same place, so
yeah.
I'm going to read too much into it. This is a hard one. Oh, that one. It's got more of a soy quality.
Do you want to try number two again?
Why is this one hotter?
I don't get it.
It's hotter,
agree.
right?
Yeah.
I'll let that one cool.
It's the same water. It's the same water.
Maybe the flute brewer was an old flute brewer and it was thicker.
It doesn't look thicker. If anything, this one looks thicker. Weird.
Oh, you know what? They're both good. but I'm going to go for the first one because of that little extra soy milk warmth and extra richness to it. So I'm going for number one, the first one you gave me.
Yeah, that's May leaf.
Yes!
I was like, this one you can't get it. Like, but to be fair, this again. I look for creamy notes. I've realized this with every tea I drink. I look for creamy notes.
Yeah, and it's creamier, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh, but look, feel here. This feels less.
No, that's thicker. Maybe that affected it, but it's they're both amazing teas. I would have selected both of them, but thankfully I got that one right. 3 out of 3. I'm very, very happy, very, very excited.
Well done.
Moving on to tea number 4. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Going in and out of light is not fun.
Yeah,
oh, these look very different. These look very different, don't they?
They do, but you know, with this type of tea, I don't know how to choose them very well. I mean, this looks more matte, I would say.
Yeah.
This looks like more bright green.
Yeah. So matte, flatter.
Oh, yeah.
And the color is a little bit more muted, greener, plumper, but not necessarily a negative. I mean, I would say that this is the it's not necessarily a negative that it's matter like this, in fact. And I'm thinking that this is the May leaf one, and that this is another one that's very, very expensive.
Really?
From my recollection. So it doesn't necessarily mean, if you see it like matte like this, that's or flatter, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a lower quality tea. I'm just going to put that out there. I do think that this is the May leaf one.
Why?
Because I recall it. Sorry to say, that's why we got to do it blind in terms of tasting. But I do recall a very expensive bamboo saber. All bamboo sabers, good quality bamboo sabers, are very expensive. I do remember a very expensive bamboo saber looking a bit like this. And I do think that I selected one that looked like this.
I mean, it's interesting because this is more uniform than these, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, you can definitely say that. With green tea, like, I think more than any other tea type, let's see if I can, maybe I'm going to correct myself, but I think more than any other tea type, the look can be the most deceiving.
Yeah.
So many times you look at teas and you go, wow, that looks spectacular, so even, perfectly processed, amazing, and then you drink it and it's not that great. And I think that the reason for it is because with green teas, everything is so reliant on more of the factor of the growth rather than the processing. It's more of the factor of the quality of the bush,
right,
the terroir. Very fundamentally, when it was picked, whether or not the weather was good on that day.
Yeah, the weather.
Yeah, all of those very intricate things. That's more about the control that you have at the point of picking rather than afterwards.
Yeah.
And so, but obviously, processing can ruin a good tea, but it can't elevate a tea which is substandard into something that's amazing.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think with looks. Green teas, yes, there are markers. These both look like high quality bamboo sabers, but it's all about the subtleties of the taste. Let's dive in.
Okay, so now water's heated too much. 92 is too hot.
Too
isn't it?
hot, man.
Oh, man.
You know what? It's okay. Do
Yeah?
it. Brew it. Because with
Messing
bamboo
it up.
saber, because it's buds, it's going to take longer to brew anyway, and we've got a lot of teas to get through still.
Okay.
So, bamboo saber, Juye Qing from Sichuan province. One of the first pickings of the year, again, like Ganlu and like Anji Baicha, very, very early picked teas. And so usually some of the first on the tea tasting table when we're doing our sampling. I didn't purchase Juye Qing for many, many years, despite it being asked for by quite a few people. We purchased a Kaihua Longding, which is a similar type of very sort of bald green buds. Bald as in they've taken the fluff off it. But my criticism, you may have heard me say this before, of these kinds of teas is that they can be too green, too astringent, too much like cut grass, and as I get older, I move further and further away from a cut grass taste in green tea. And so when we're looking for a Jujiqing, we're looking obviously for tastes of spring, but we're also looking for brothiness, roundness, richness, and that's one of the main criteria that I look for. If a Jujiqing is too green tasting, then it leaves with a cross on it very, very quickly. How's it going?
It's okay. Okay, ready.
That's why you needed hotter water, because it's going to take a while to brew these buds, because they're properly armor plated.
Yeah. So I want to try and get it right, but I feel like everyone that's watching is going to go, man, this is a messy brew. Sorry, I'm trying.
Everything we do in front of the camera is always a lot messier than when we do it at home.
It's crazy,
right?
isn't it? At home we're so elegant.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. But
I don't know if George and Adrian will say the same. But I imagine that we're more elegant.
It's just that we're very conscious of time.
Oh, okay. So
You're going to roll that dice?
roll, Celine, roll. Okay, here we go. And this one. In a second. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm gonna join you on it.
So this one has, again, a little nut milk quality to it.
Oh yeah.
Oat milk, something like that. It's unusual for a Jujiqing because it certainly isn't too green, but it's a bit gentle, if you know what I mean. It's a bit like, it tastes like the second or third infusion. The mouthfeel is very nice, perfumed, but a little bit dry. But then with these kinds of green buds, you'd expect that. I mean, it's nice. I would be disappointed if that was our May leaf one.
Okay. Do you want to try the other one?
Well, of course. I'm not that confident.
Yes, like I've decided before even tasting.
I mean, it was nice, that one.
There we go.
Oh
That's
no,
the
have I
second
done? What have I done? I've put my.
What did you just do? You just looked.
No, I didn't. It's a bit loose.
It's okay. I'll move the leaves so you can see some sunshine.
Yeah, this is very different. Very different teas.
You can't tell from the liquor. I mean, ooh.
So this one has got more green apple to it, right?
Like peeled apples, you know, like the skin of a green apple.
Yeah, it's got more green apple to it.
Granny Smith.
But it's still very soft and rounded. It's still, I mean, it's a lot more flavor to it, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot more richness to it. Can I have some more of that one?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm holding it out like
Yeah,
Oliver
I wasn't
Twist.
sure. Get it a nice shot.
Yeah,
there.
this has got like the milkiness, the creaminess with that little green apple. Not just the peel, I think just green apple. It's just, it has that green apple note, but it certainly isn't in that sort of too astringent quality. It's got life, it's got vibrancy to it. It has to be the one that was on the left, and it has to be the May leaf one, because I don't think I'd have picked the other one. It's too, can I take my blind off?
Yeah.
It's the first one is, oh my God. The first one is, I understand why it's expensive.
Yeah.
Like it has a very subtle elegance to it.
Yeah, and it's definitely greener. It's got that like a fresh bamboo taste.
Which one? The first one or the second one?
The first one.
You find it greener?
Yeah.
Let me taste it again. This was the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you mean, but it's like, yeah, it's more like like bamboo.
Yeah.
This one's more like fruit.
Yeah.
Fresh. Yeah, but I kind of think that one's a little bit greener. But anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that I understand why this is expensive.
Yeah.
But my personal preference is to go for something with a little bit more upfront fruity brightness
Yeah.
to it. And this is very important to state because obviously, whilst you can always say that tea, you can say that there's general consensus into higher quality tea and lower quality tea, etc. When it boils down to these kinds of small, even though they're quite obvious when you taste them, from a decision-making point of view, this is based upon taste.
100%.
Right? Some people might prefer
Yeah.
the more bamboo creaminess of this one.
Yeah.
Other people like me would prefer this one. So
I'm for the fruit.
I
Always
assume
for
that
the
this is the
fruit,
Mady
yeah.
one. Okay, so
It's interesting
Four, is
though
it
because
four?
they're
Four out of
so different in taste.
so different. Both excellent teas. Both would have gotten a tick from me.
Yeah.
Just that extra little brightness and impact up front is what made this one the winner. But I want to stress that point that ultimately, when it comes to this kind of specialty tea sourcing, it does boil down to the taste profile or the taste preferences of the person doing the sourcing. And it cannot be done by committee. It has to be done. Otherwise, you're just not going to make a decision, or it's just going to become whatever is the safer option. It's got to be done by one, two people.
Yeah.
And this is a perfect example of that. Both great teas, but that's my winner.
Yeah.
All right, 4 for 4. Can I make it a clean sweep?
I should have done this game. I feel like I would have gotten everything right.
Do you want to do this one? I'm quite happy for you to do this one if you want to do this one.
Oh, but this is not like
Do you want to do this one?
This is not one of the teas that I drink that much. Is it? Laoshan Green? Oh, wait. Do I drink it? Yeah, I do drink it. Okay.
Do you want to do this one?
All right, let me do it.
Okay, so we've decided that Celine's going to do this one because she said that she wants to take part in the challenge, which I'm very happy to do. I would get it right, I'm sure.
I got a bit cocky and I was saying, well, if this is so easy, I should have done it. And now I'm going for Laoshan Green, which is not.
So I don't know which one's which, but I'll keep the flute brewers in the same order, then you can tell me if you're right or not afterwards. So you know which one's which. The Laoshan Green is a northern green tea. Don't be fooled by this sort of dark kelpie green color. Sometimes people get put off by it because they think, oh, that's the shade of cheaper green teas. And oftentimes that may be true. Some of the cheaper green teas or less sort of like pinnacle teas tend to be a little bit darker, but it will go into a very vibrant, bright green. Northern Chinese, colder climate, looking for a more brothy quality to it. Nutty and brothy, but with what I always look for is enough lightness, because sometimes it can be just too down in the mids and the base and not have enough top end. So that's what I look for. So I'm going to brew these up. You put your blindfold on, please.
Righto.
I'm not quite sure which one's the May leaf one, but I'll just keep them in this order. This one's a slightly finer look to it. So maybe it's that one, but they both look good. Are you confident?
I went from confidence to like, oh, what have I gotten myself into?
That's good. I'm very happy for you to take over this. So I'm going to roll this dice and we'll make that odd and that even. So, I don't know which camera you can see. So that means that we're starting with this one here. Okay, but wait, they still need a bit of time to brew.
That's all right. So what I look in my Laoshan Green.
What do you look for in your Laoshan Green?
I think, again, the creaminess. I always like a little bit of creaminess. But I do feel like Laoshan Green tends to be a bit deeper than the other greens. Yeah. So it's not the one I go to regularly. I like my bright notes,
Yeah, that's true.
But sometimes when you feel a bit more like a cozier green, Laoshan Green is great for that.
So a colder climate tea for a colder climate, right? So when it gets a bit cooler, colder, or sometimes I like to go for a Laoshan Green more in mid-afternoon. Yeah. When I feel like I don't want something that's just too bright. I want something that's going to have that oomph, that sort of that deeper quality to it. But as I said, I really am very where are the lids? I really am very conscious of not picking a Laoshan cream that's only about those depths. You know?
Is that hints to try and get me to be right? Thank you so much. You're much kinder than I am as a game player.
I'm just saying that's what I look for. I can't find a lid, so I'm just putting this in a scoop. It's all a bit messy, as always. So we're starting with this one.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, so that's number one. Ah, nice. I get to cheers, everybody.
Oh, that's delicious. It's got like a creamy note. It's got a bit of a sponge cake thing going on. But then there's that green, it's like something steamed. It's not artichokes, not something vibrant and steamed. Oh, I like that.
Okay.
I would have it on a rainy day.
Number two.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. Wow, it's so different.
Incredibly different.
So different. Very nice too, though.
Yeah.
But less creamy, no? It's like the first thing I think. I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, it's like, where's my cream? But it's so bright.
Who took the cream?
Where's my cream? But it's really bright.
Yeah.
And like springy.
Yeah.
It's really nice in that sense.
Yeah. Very bright.
It's very vegetal. Like, it's more on the side of my mouth. It's more. It's not drying. It's like what's the word? A sourness to it.
Sour?
Something perky on the side.
Yeah, it's definitely more green for sure.
More green. I think some people would really like that, but
Yeah.
I prefer my cream.
So you prefer the first one, okay? Blindfolds
the
off because
first
I'm
one.
not quite sure, but I think I would have picked this one as well.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, it
this
is
is
bright.
brutal.
Okay, so we both picked this one.
Okay.
Was that the Mayleaf one?
Yeah, it was. For a second, I was like, wait, calibrate my brain.
Okay.
No, because I was thinking in my head, wow, the liquor is showing it.
Yeah.
Because I know from like brewing it
Yeah,
that it
look-
tends to be creamier.
Creamy light colour.
Yeah, creamy and lighter.
And in general, again, very general, but it's worth stating. In general, with green teas,
got it
lighter
right.
liquor is usually a sign of better. If you have the same sort of teas, then and they're the same sort of price point, and one is lighter than the other, generally the lighter one is the better one. Anyway, we've
Very
got to move
impressed
on.
there.
This is an epic video. Last tea, Imperial Green. Am I doing it or are you
Can
doing
I
it?
do it?
You want to do it?
I think I'm on a roll.
I'm sticking with my 100% success rate. Okay, cool. Okay, so last but by certainly no means least, we've got Longjing Imperial Green, one of the most famous Chinese green teas. That's boiling too much.
No.
Okay, you're going to get a strong brew of this,
Oh,
just to test you out. We've done lots of videos about Longjing. I'll put them in the description below where we visit Longjing. I've done a video recently about Longjing Supreme, so go check them out. I don't know if you were pointing out which one was the Mayleaf one when we were doing the other one, but I will point it out.
Yeah.
That one there is the Mayleaf one. Were you not pointing them out before?
I honestly can't remember now.
Okay. We have to figure that
Like
out. We have to
super helpful.
figure that out in the
Thanks,
edit.
Celine.
All right, so do you want to look at the leaf? Take your blindfold off, you can look at the leaf.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can't tell the difference.
They both look good, right?
Yeah.
We tasted so many samples of Longjing this year.
I do like that tasting though.
What, the Longjing tasting?
Yeah. But they it's like along the same lines. It's just some are a bit they last less long, you know, like less infusions. Some are too nutty, some are
Yeah.
not nutty enough. It's like that
Yeah.
kind of
So the first thing that is the sort of the first sort of categorization is level of nuttiness,
Yeah.
isn't it? That's sort of like the first thing you do. How nutty do you want? Again, personal preference.
Yeah.
Do you like it to be more nutty,
True.
more roast bean flavor? Do you like it to be more green and fresh? And that's going to affect how you choose which cultivar and which area you're going to be buying from.
I think we're both similar in that
Yeah,
taste
I think
for
we
that.
both like a good balance, erring a little bit on the side of warmer rather than fresher.
True.
Probably. Because then the next criteria is finish for me. A lot of great Longjings that are very high quality and very expensive have a very clean, short finish. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Some people might. I don't. I like it to have a little. I like it to have a longer finish. I like that finish to be slightly lemony.
Yeah.
You know, that's my sort of preference in terms of Longjing.
Oh, this is not going to be easy.
Okay.
I just realized from all the samples we've had, this is not going to be
this is going to be
easy.
probably the hardest one.
Oh no, I
would
was on the
imagine.
roll. Should have stopped that. I got that right.
Colour of the liquor looks very similar as well, just to add a bit more fear in you.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you.
Roll in the dice. And we've got that, which means we're going that one first.
Oh my gosh, does not help that I need to pee.
No, it doesn't.
Zen it out. Concentrate
Okay,
on
hold
my
your
taste
hand
buds.
out.
Yeah. Holding it. Thank you. Oh yeah, that's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Well, considering it was with hot water, that is smooth. I get the nut. I get the cream. I get the brightness. This tea is lovely. I'm gonna try the other one first. The other
Yeah,
one.
don't-
I can't
don't-
drink anymore because I will pee myself on camera,
Okay.
which I do not want
Oh,
to
YouTube gold.
do. No, that would be a YouTube fail.
Okay, so here's number 2.
Plus, you can say it's just tea that fell on my trousers.
Yeah, it does have a similar shade.
Oh, hard. Oh, this is really good too. Oh. Okay, this is hard.
Le challenge. You should not have challenged me last night.
And then going, oh,
I can do
I'm
it."
sure I can do it. So easy.
That is a hard one.
Oh,
That
this
is a
one's
hard
got
one.
some of the floral notes. Oh, that's hard. But it's a bit too flowery. Like I prefer it to be more on the cream and the nuts. But it's like really good.
Do you want to try either again?
Yeah, can I try the number 1 again?
Sure.
I mean, I'm more towards number 1 just because of how I felt on it, like how my mouth.
Yeah, I can't. Cool. I poured it intentionally a little bit in just to.
Well, okay, I can't taste anything else.
Yeah, just gone. Okay.
I think this is creamier.
You want to try number 2 again? You can do it very quickly.
Okay, quickly.
I'm just mixing more in my cup now.
I'm super late for my interview.
I know. Okay.
Okay, I've decided. Number 1.
Take the blindfold off. You did it, girl.
Yeah!
6 out of 6. That was not easy. That one was definitely not easy. Again, very important to state, this is all about personal choice, but I think that it's interesting to see these videos because you can see sort of the things that we're looking for. We can do more in-depth videos on particular teas if you want. Let me know in the comments section below. This is an epic video, so I'm going to cut it off very, very quickly. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
for the challenge.
for
Now I'm
letting me challenge myself.
surrounded by so much green tea here that's only had 1 infusion, so we need to make a big giant cold brew for our weekend.
Oh, yeah.
That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don. This is Celine from Mayleaf. Thank you for being part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the supreme stuff and spread the word because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.
Bye. Okay, bye-bye.